back. Hey, this is another episode of Kinston Show Views where I give my opinion on what I am viewing on any mainstream media platform that you could think of. So, the title I am going to get to, I wasn't able to live stream last week, and the title kind of has something to do with it. Um, I'm don't know what I'm doing, so I'm not sure if I'm just being seen on this only because I have something I wanted to share my screen, and I've been sitting here for about an hour trying to figure out how to stream and share your screen because I wanted to like go on the web can't like the websites, but I really don't know how to do that. I don't know. Yeah, like I don't think you guys could see any of that stuff, right? Like I don't know. I'm confused. So, and I don't know if anyone is here. It's pretty late, so whoever is here, welcome. I'm glad you are up and with me. Yeah, so this is not gonna work out. Um, I don't think any of this stuff is showing. Interesting. Like I don't know what this means. Yeah, I don't think any of this is showing either. Let me see. Okay. Um, if anybody's watching, just bear with me. I was trying to get on like the website while being on here instead of just doing it on my phone, but I think I'm gonna have to watch videos. I thought it would be way more easier so I could stop just like doing so much talking and kind of could navigate through the websites and the Googles of all the information and research that I'm doing. I don't know if you can see my shirt. It's kind of like no celebrity worshiping. That I don't know if it's. I just wanted that to be sore. Yeah, I'm kind of like pissed off that this didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Let me turn this all the way down. Yeah, it's not. Let me see. Yeah, none of it's showing. I don't know how to do that then. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to change up what I was gonna do today. Because I don't know how to string. So okay, so where I was going, so last I left, it feels like I punished for putting out. Let me close this because I don't think this is even showing at this point, right? I don't know. Let me leave it up. Whatever, because I literally got so many things up thinking I was going to like show like my windows, and that did not happen at all. I'll be right back. Oh. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I felt like I was getting punished or something for the last videos that I was doing. Because I felt like I don't know, it just was weird. My living room TV, like immediately after the last video I did, I believe of Bill Cosby and I can actually look to see what his name is because I'm bad at names, and that's why I wanted to have like my phone and be on the Google so you can see like when I do all this talking, you can see where I'm getting this stuff from. But I can't. Then I will try to figure out how to navigate so it could look more so it could be more understanding of where I'll be going with all my ideology that I am giving. Dick Gregory. Yeah, so my last video of Bill Cosby and Dick Gregory, I felt like I was like boasting, saying that I predicted that like not predicted, but I was just like basically talking about those two, and then they came all in the media like literally right after that last video of the last live I did. And so I didn't, try to monetize, even though I don't have much viewers. So like the monetization doesn't really matter, but I still do monetize just in case, you never know if your channel will build and it actually, create revenue eventually. So, I don't monetize the history lives because I know that it would not be monetized most likely, because it's too heavy and it's not light and cute for YouTube. So I did not even try to monetize it, but I did try to monetize the Bill Cosby and the Dick Gregory live, just because I felt like it was like the twinsy fouls things that I do. Plus, I guess it had too much history in it, so they didn't say they couldn't monetize it, but they were saying that it's up to whoever wants to monetize it. Like they left it in a yellow, and obviously no one wanted to monetize it. So I just took the monetization off of the Bill Cosby and the Dick Gregory, but I thought it was weird because I'm like, why wouldn't they monetize this? But I guess it was too much history stuff in it, and I already know that they're not, interested in trying to put any kind of commercial stuff on it, which doesn't matter. So I was like, okay, that's weird. So I just felt like right after that, things went downhill device-wise, like electronically wise. Where I have the title 1, 2, 3, the devil's after me, 4, 5, 6, he's always throwing sticks, and things like that. I titled it that way because it's like, so right after in that video, I kind of was like, look at I was pointing out things again, like look at I forget the guy named Don Jean Pelly, whatever, that went to Chicago, and then I was like, yeah, he's the Frenchman, hey, they over there, hey, and things like that. And then right after that, as you can see, let me, maybe I could just show the phone and that could help. Unfortunately, when I figure out how to navigate on the Google, I can like really nail some stuff that I've tried to talk about. And then there's gonna be a lot to try to look for things. Yeah, so anyway, the Haitian president passed right after I was like, oh, Haiti, they're all, that's where they stopped at first, and that's where they say that they freed themselves, but they really just signed a deal to end up in debt, which means they're, anyway, and it's the French Northmen. So I just thought that was weird that occurred right after my video. So I was like, oh, it's kind of like I called it again, and I was going to be like all boastful about it again. And then, a lot of things came up upon that murder, like, the pictures that they put up, it circulates to things. And I'm trying to show the picture. And it seems like they didn't like that I was like calling stuff, and then they just immediately didn't monetize my stuff. And then right after that, my TV in my living room just conked out, and then I was just like, why? And I could show you, like I could literally turn it on. It says please wait, but it never comes on. So I was like, all right, that could be just anything. This is like the day after, or probably that night. And then after that, like I had an issue with my connection with like my job, and I'm like, and I've been having that internet connection since, forever. So it's like I never had to change the wire, but I guess that was the issue. And that cost me about $40-$50 to just change the wiring to my internet connection towards my job, not to this connection. Different connections. So I was like, this is weird. And then the day after that, more technical issues that cost me hours out of my, anyway, and that was 3 days of consecutive issues. Of different issues that didn't make any sense in my devices, that never had an issue for all the years. So I'm just like, okay, that's weird. So now this is like day 5 in, and they're not playing any games with me. So I tried to video record something, and they tried to blank out my big TV in my room. So I'm like, oh, slow down, and I can show you the video because it was like literally that guy that's a YouTuber. I take clips of things that I feel like I want to just be like to piggyback things off of. I just take clips out of all places. And he said something about being initiated, like they was asking him, has he ever been approached, or you feel like, by the Illuminati or whatever, which is, I could explain what all of that is now, if I can get to it. But yeah, they was like, are you a part of it? And he kind of explained a very good explanation. I wanted to take a tape of it, like, this is a great explanation of how they kind of approach you, whatever, and how it kind of goes and things like that. And if you don't actually take the bait, you're not really going to know much, you know what I'm saying? So, I took a video of that, and as soon as he finished the last word of what I wanted to get, literally like not even 20 seconds, my big TV went black, and I just had turn off, and I'm like, why is it going black? And I have it on tape when it went blacked out, which I'm going to try to show you, but I have so much stuff in tape. Okay, let me just start showing you some stuff. Like this. Like, are you kidding me? Like, okay, let me turn down the resolution. Jesus Christ. See, this is the issue. Am I holding it up correctly? I don't even know where this webcam is, to tell you the truth. Okay, that's not working out. Let me turn this down more. Yeah, like literally he just came home and he's like doing this. Okay, this isn't gonna work. I see that this glare is not great. Yeah, I might have to do this another day. This is how bad it's gotten where I can't even like. Yeah. So anyway, after the TV, it was just like constant like issues, and then I tried to go somewhere, and it was like a appointment situation, and I left early, more than enough time to get on time, like an hour and a half early, and literally the train didn't move for like a whole 45 minutes. And I was like, if it doesn't move right now, I'm gonna be late. And they don't play like with these appointments. They, especially with this, vid, they want you to be on time. And so I literally, the train didn't leave until like exactly that time. And I never seen a train sit somewhere for 45 minutes. And I was just like, this is weird. I feel bad for everybody on the train because I'm pretty sure they're holding it because of me. On like any device, electrical situation that you could think of, it was weird vibes. For 2 weeks, I couldn't even make a video last week. I was like, so many issues. Like, are you serious? So I just felt like they was mad about because I was calling out the Haitian thing, and then boom, the Haitian president passes away, and then I took from that pictures, and I'm like, this is weird. With the pictures that they had post of him, it connected to the North Pole, and the circulation of the people that live in the North, like the I didn't even know the North Pole was like somewhere you could live. So it was weird when I did Google the picture. Yeah, because I don't know if you guys could see any of this. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's not working out. It's like this is worse than the before. I could have just did this straight on from my iPad instead of trying to stream it, because at least it was showing before my iPad. For some reason, it's not even showing here, and I don't even think if I fix it, it's going to work out better than that. Yeah, but if you Google the North Pole, you should get something like this. And then if you look at the circle of life going on over there, you'll kind of get the idea where I'm heading with that. So this circle, this like Arcadia thing was on the podium of the Haitian, the picture that they showed of the president, which I thought was weird. I'm like, why are they putting this reef? I've seen this reef from somewhere before. So I kind of Googled what the reef and what he was in front of that picture was about, and it led me to the North Pole area where you get your Cambridge at, and you get all your castles and your kingdoms. It like the prehistoric history thing is like all a scam. There were definitely human beings here. They just called them hominids, which I think is very weird that they wouldn't consider those people human beings, or the fact that they said like Ice Age wiped them all out. But it's like, yeah, we're gonna kind of go through all of that, all those lies. This is why they're giving you your money back for your student loans and things like that. Like all this awful history, misadvised history, this education that they had provided you now is not even valid, and they're charging you a lot of money for it. Most of the college degrees is obviously for your career base, which at points in time you didn't even need those things to get certain careers. I remember you didn't need nothing to become a nurse, you didn't need nothing to become an executive in like like corporate and things like that. You just needed experience So, you saw how the scams started to come in. I didn't fall for any of that. When they started to tell me to pay for stuff, I used to be like, okay, bye. I'll figure it out through my experience and things like that, or I try to get free education through grants. And if it's about me and signing off on any kind of like debt, like that's where my education would stop. I'll just go to the library and Google. But I see that they're probably wiping these things out now because they see how, obviously a lot of people are researching. They see a lot of the scam, the scam that happened. And you saw I called it with Hawaii as well, being invaded by the Chinese, which you see Russia was coming or doing some type of military issue there. I already said that in my last video. And I already explained to you guys about what Hawaii was. And at some point we were in Antarctica. And it's not no land behind Antarctica. It's just actually Antarctica. I think it spreads around now. I'm not sure if that was Atlantis and why. That's probably why it's frozen under ice, because it was a lot of water based. But obviously they know that we were here, and I could show you. And I can't really show you nothing showing. So I'm gonna have to not be here for long until I can figure out. But if you guys can start Googling the North Pole or the South Pole and see the South Pole is right inside of Antarctica. So you kind of could see what I'm talking about there if you Google it and see all that beautiful area, and then kind of look into the names too, and it's going to start making a lot of sense. That the names of the lands in Antarctica and the peninsula of where it pronunciates to, which is South America. And we already know about South America and the Incas, and that's why Tupac / Shaquille, is gone. When he was done, because obviously the same character Tupac or more dots, were towards Cortez, whatever these people are, them from the Moors, Mexico. That's why they took Tupac back. A kill, whatever, back to Mexico, and then going probably back into South America where he's originally from, the Inca tribe. And and anyway, so that's scam. And then, like I told you, mostly all this stuff is coming from South America, and you see how South Africa, the anguish is in right now. The splitting of these continents is not by accident. I'm gonna try to figure out how to stream and get into a lot of these videos so you can see probably how they are able to go into the ground, and they already know exactly how the molten of the rocks and how it turns into lava and it explodes into the volcano. They know how all of this stuff works, to the point where I think they are able to control it. And definitely was moving some stuff around. Like I think they wanted Africa, I think they wanted India. You could clearly Google how that came across to them and see how deranged, and they want you to believe these things. But if you research it, it's kind of common sense that this is controlled. Look into Japan. Japan is very important. Russia is Asia, is China. This is going to be a surprise to a lot of people. It's nothing but Native and Asians here. That's it. There's nothing else here. Native people and Asian people. They're coming from Antarctica, from the peninsula. It shows you if you Google it. Coming from South America, and they may be peninsulaed out somewhere else. I'm not sure. Then they come through the North Pole area, where it peninsulates to it's a circle in the Erie Lake and everything. All the Native American people were actually in Canada and up North America and towards the down south. So they attacked. They were at the other side of Russia, Asia, China, North Africans, and whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's the mixing is the only mixing that's going on here is a native black, native person, a native descendant person, and an Asian person. And it's only why they're Asians because I believe they went venturing off as they show you, they give you two graphs coming from the North Pole of where we split. One, we were going towards Canada and America and Alaska, and they were going towards whatever's over there. If you look at the map, it's Russia, Asia, England. All that stuff is made up. It's only Asia over there. And they took India, and they took part of South. They took South Africa. I mean, Africa is South America, and India was in South America, and so is Antarctica. All that stuff. And then somebody made an explosion. These people they make bombs. I want you to, you should look. I got YouTube clips where you can see the Mongolians and which is just Asian Chinese people, and the Russian people, which is just Chinese Asian people. Not to be rude, and this is not being rude. This is mixes of just Asian descent and native descent. I don't know how they turn colors or whatever, and how like the deficiencies, especially when they ventured out. The Normans, the up north men, these men venturing out to discover, the world, which went towards where the sun don't shine much, which is the sea levels, which is Europe, the Netherlands is below sea level over there, which is where the Little Mermaid and all those things come from. It's under the sea. And and so basically you already know where the bulk of the land is. It's the Americas. And these people that ventured out, I'm assuming when they became Neanderthals, whatever you want to call it, because they're in the caves, they're going down so deep inside the earth core, discovering how the 33 degrees of going down. Like if you look into how the platonics move, it's just a lot of math into it, and it goes all into the Masonic numbers. So it goes into 33 degrees and all these levels. And if you get really deep into the core, it gets into the sub-low level, which in China, the volcano 6,000 years ago is erupted. It's this remote volcano. Look at St. Helens volcano as well. Google that. It's right directly across from each other. The St. Helens and the one that erupted in China 6,000 years ago. That one is unique. And we gotta understand that we're talking about if you want to get into, if you want to get into the devil and all that stuff, I can kind of make it make sense as well, because they do. You can decode the Bible. When Cain killed Abel. If you look at all this stuff is in Latin. Chinese people speak perfect Latin. I took 3 consecutive Spanish classes. The Puerto Ricans and the Dominicans were not passing as well as they thought they would, because they don't speak Latin or Spanish or Spaniard. They speak Spanish. So they were surprised that they weren't prospering in the classes they thought they were going to. But the person that was getting in, I was like behind everybody. But un poco español, I can get around and I can speak, and I can do whatever I need to do. But the one that was getting perfect grades and A's was this Chinese boy in our class, speaking perfect dialect of Latin, so know where it comes from. When this volcano erupted in China, it was in a remote area. I exposed MC. I'm glad you up. I'm thinking it's not that late over there, but on the East Coast it's pretty late. So whoever's up with me, what's up? I'm trying to jump up off of a hard 2 weeks of a lot of electronical issues for no reason. And I'm just like, okay, they mad about a lot of stuff. And I wanted to show you that I think what they were mad at, because I wanted to show you the direction of that hate. And I didn't show you the picture. This is why I wanted to navigate way better, but they won't let me get in. And I think I might have to just start looking up into more YouTube videos to really navigate this, get it going, instead of me doing much talking. Because I wish I could find that picture of him at the podium with that reef in front of it, because it took me to Googling a lot of stuff. That means a lot of stuff. I'm like, dang, like all this stuff is connected. And it's crazy because most of it is just made up just for people to be current and having slaves. Like the Savle, you know, is coming from Russia. Savle. And let's not even get into those people. Like, I mean, they are rough. They were rough. The history is just like really was it necessary? And they have their emperors and their charts. You know, I wish I could show you and prove to you about the slavery. I got all these pictures. I'm mad that I can't show that to prove that my family wasn't no slave. I got my great great grandmother, my great great grandfather pictures showing that they clearly were nowhere near no slaves. And this is the late 1800s. You know, I got my great grandfather. My great grandfather, my great grandmother. This is my grandmother's grandmother, my grandma, all from the South. Decent people, doing well, had their houses. Late 1800s. We got Henry Gaddison. You know, just don't get what you mean. He meant business. He didn't look like he was picking no cotton now. He was a businessman. Put some respect on my great grandfather, Henry Gaddison. Okay. I got my own pictures. They don't gotta show me no pictures of Africa. Okay. And I respect the South African people, not the North African people more that wanted more from South America. Those resources there, and the South American people have nothing to do. You know, if you to the hominids that I guess they were human beings. If you look into history, they were massacred mostly from, you know, the Spanish, Germans, they had there. This is the tactic that they use. This is history repeats itself. This is the tactic that they use. Okay, so the Germans, the Cortez comes over to the English and they wipe them out with the pox disease. Okay, they're wiping them out, and then that happened in Norfolk, and that happened when it came to Florida. They wiped them out with, and they started on Florida. I mean, this exactly. Everywhere the part already knew it was a fall apart place. Fighting in wars and fighting over these places, and they know it's we shouldn't be built at, and they let you build it. Some of you got no choice, but that's what they're not going to not charge you as well, knowing that 10, 15 years from now, this place is going to be open. It's going to come damn into it. It's going to have, maybe a lot of people do know. Most of the people that's moving around is people that never was here in the first place. You know, not to be there, not to be in service. So most of these areas is areas. When you look at the Bronx and all that was like King's Castle. The first old bridge in the world is in the Bronx / towards upstate. The big heights was in New York, in Toronto. I didn't even know they were like they're splitting. We were arguing and fighting over the Niagara Falls. It's the biggest resource of electricity. It's the biggest resource of all this light, all the stuff we have right now. So they're fighting over things that they're atheists. But yeah, it's just like when you look into the history, y'all might as well don't worry about sending your kids to school. That's why. I was like, wow. They tell you all the truth you need to know. And even in the Bible, they tell you everything is just in code, and a lot of it is in Latin. Just like the supremus. If you look at it in Spanish, it's su means like you, like su. Let me break it down in Latin for you. If you break down all this stuff in Latin, you start to make a lot more sense of what they mean by a lot of things. Like with the supreme, with the supremus, what is it called? You know what I'm talking about. The supremus. Because white people, I gotta understand that there's no such thing as white people. It's just so when you're filling out your application, I'm just gonna babble for a little bit and I'm gonna get off because I thought I was gonna do something and plans is over as I thought. You know how this is getting. They don't want me to say a lot of things because I know a lot of things naturally. This is like it's like the mindset of a Capricorn, so it's not hard for me to decode because you're kind of living in Cain's world. I hope you know that. Yeah, so and if you didn't know that, like if you looked at the commercial, it was like on Juneteenth. They had like a big sign that said Capricorn, then it was like a Stonehenge building, it was like a red brick building. I got that commercial. I just was like, yo, the look at the symbolism, like these tropical Capricorn, the tropical Capricorn area. They're not playing. They're out here, they're repping. Um, so the Supremists, the Supremists. I would love to get on Google and just break down all the dialects to you. We could do wordplay, like cane, volcano, cocaine. What else? What else? Cane, sugar cane. Okay, there's a lot of cane stuff going on. I live in Cane's world, and I'm try to break it down to you guys through the Bible how you living in Cane's world. That's biblical. We're gonna get to that maybe one day. That's where the devil, the 1, 2, 3, the devil's after me was gonna come in. At I wanted to explain that. See, this is bad. Like I could have did way better just directly. I would never do it like this again unless I could figure out. Every time I try to do something new, this is why you see I do it directly through my phone, directly through my. So this doesn't have to waste my time. Like it's obviously not working. Can't see anything. Um, Yep. So that's not gonna work. Just wanted you to see the suffix, and it just won't show it. Annoying. Okay, so supremus. So Su is your prima. Su is your, and then prima is cousin, and then is if you Google ist, is like something where like you're doing a good job. Like let me just Google it right now so I can give you the definition. So you already see what it's saying about a supremus. A supremus is basically like their cousin. You're their cousin. You're doing a good job, cousin. That's what they're telling you. Okay, and I mean, who's telling you? I already told you. Spaniards is in Spain in Madrid is not the same as a Spanish person in DR, or they are mixed descent, probably most likely, of course, of the conquering of them coming over there. Spreading their love, and the way they like to spread it. But yeah, ist is a following a distinct practice. So what they're doing. The supremists, they're following a distinct practice or a philosophy or ideology. The suffix is like a Greek suffix. So the supremus is your cousin doing a practice, a distinct practice. So you see how when you do these word plays, you're going to start being able to dissect a lot of stuff. And most of it's in Latin. They wrote most of this even in the Bible and stuff. A lot of this stuff is in Latin. And imagine, I saw some part in the part in the Bible where it said something about Benjamin. I was like, oh my God, they even talking about Bobby. And I'm gonna get to Bobby's world too. If you remember that cartoon of Bobby, or like, or we could use another word like bobsled, or like and that's where like you could get towards the sugar cane and things like that. I don't know if you get where I'm going, but anyway, I'm gonna say what I want. So the Mer people are merchants. They were merchants. That's what the Mers in Mexico and all that stuff for. And they tore up the Native American people all over the Americas, just all over the Americas. I don't know when people ventured out and went towards where the sun don't shine or areas where they shouldn't have been in caves and started to, do whatever they want to do. And they're starting to label them as Neanderthals and things like that. But let's be honest, Neanderthals are, I don't know, is it not working? Okay, I don't know. They said it's lagging. I hope not. But yeah, I'm not gonna probably be on here for long because I really don't even know what kind of show I'm putting on right. And what kind of info I'm trying to, and I do lectures when I'm doing this. It's not really like a show when I'm trying to do my history stuff. It's more lecturing, and of a lot of things that comes across in my span of me collecting a lot of history out of my life. I like to watch a lot. I've always studied a lot of things, not study, but I just watch stuff, and it's just so anyway. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, so like I said with the Neanderthals, I don't know why they're not classifying them as human beings, because I've never seen a cat and a dog produce a child together. So if Neanderthals and human beings, were able to have a boinking zone, that's what they call it in history, a boinking zone that meets in this area where I showed you the lady that they say from Georgia, like because there's an area in Georgia that's like in like the sub-Sahara area, Africa slash, I don't know that area, like what is it called? Like, the Syrian, these Syrian people, and that's not even getting to the Nazis. That's another Latin. That's another Latin thing. Na is like nada, like nah, no, and then Nazi. If you look up SY like C, it stands for like Syrian people. So Nazis was like no Syrian. So basically, they were and that's what they were doing to the Jews. They were supposed to be tearing them out. So Nazi stood for no Syrian Jews, no Syrian Jews. I was like, oh my God, that's like if you Google the names and you break down the suffixes, I was like, they basically tell you what they're doing to these people. The German was saying Nazis, no Syrian Jews. The Syrian Jews come from, I researched them. They come from, they popping up out of nowhere on everybody's back. That's all. Everyone is like, who's these wanderers? The Syrian Jews. They in Israel now. They're the ones that have the curl and they have the hats and the all black outfits on, and they're really light now because they're mixed with Chinese. Anything that's really white is mixed with Chinese. Russia, any whitewashing that's going on is just Chinese. If you really pay attention to white people, they look very Chinese. Couldn't believe it. I've been watching it all week. I said, wow, they're all Asian. And it's not even Asian, because Asian is more like native kind of Asian, because you could be Japan. That's why when you see young Pharaoh, he's running around with no clothes on. Like he's so used to being, if you look at the Incas and them, and the Egyptians and the Incas, he's all mixed up. Like, because if you look up South America is descendants of Armenians, South Africans, Armenian. And I told you this, the Sazet and the Kim Kardashian, the Armenians by the Las Vegas, they all was up in there. And they also are the Muslim people that's over in the Ottoman rich people. These are the German, Turkish. They were considered the Ottoman people in ancient times. They were considered the rich people because they know how to mold. They know how to mold silver. They were molding silver for a long time till that business started to die out. Up in Canada, they were pumping fur. That's where you get like the barbarian stories with that guy that was touching his own kid. What's that guy named Boba or something that was messing with Denise Huxtable? That's where you get the movies from when he was running around. You see them movies when he running around with the furs and all that. That was Italy first hitting over here in Canada. We should have never touched their furs. We should have never touched anything they were offering. They was bubbling off the furs, and then here comes the Spanish, and here comes the Portuguese, which is from South America. And these people are venturing out, and I'm not going to keep repeating it. This world is small. I was like, it's not even that big. Like, they were harassing us from the sea level, and it was harassing us from the land level. When you come from like South America and Mexico, it gets very high land, and then we kind of go towards the middle, like good land like us, and then you got to add in the Yorkshires, you got to add in the Netherlands. I don't know, in like Canada, I don't know how everything splattered apart, and there all these little islands and all this stuff came apart, but you could tell that the Netherlands and all this stuff was connected. I don't know why they don't consider this stuff important. It's very important when everything was connected because it was humans here, hominids here. The monkeys in Africa, I don't know why they call it the planets of the apes and stuff. Like, I don't know what's going on in Africa really in North. I don't know what kind of stories they're pulling over there. Don't know. If you look into the up by Canada, up where it's the North Pole, that's where they got the show on Netflix, Cambridge. If you look at, you see how they had in the show where black and white people were intermixing. So look into that. Like, it was way before the African story. They were already civilizations. The Bible only talks about the other side. They rarely ever speak about America. So we gotta know that the Bible can't be, it was revised. They probably took out a lot of stuff. Like, it mentions a lot, but they only mention people like they mention us, like they talk about things, and I'm like, I get what they're referring to, but they skim by us because the Bible is just basically telling us about the devil. The devil is an angel. Obviously, he fell from from up top. Y'all gotta understand that this comes from we only got north, east, and southwest. And then on the news the other day, they had like the tornado. They had the keyhole, which was kind of like Earth. And then they showed all the stuff with the tornadoes go. I was like, this is crazy. Like, I swear, I wish I could show y'all what I'm talking about. I was like, I'm like, what the hell? So they know exactly what's going on here. It's a highway that's called the Pan American Highway. It goes straight from the north, very top of the north, where I showed y'all already, where Hawaii, Alaska, going all the way down to Oregon, Washington, Las Vegas, Mexico, South America. It's a highway that goes straight from there all the way, no stopping. Did y'all know that? It's a highway that goes straight from north to the south, from the very top to the very back of South America to the top of the north. I said, what the Pan American Highway. I really don't want to continue on. I've been on here for 42 minutes, and I'm tired of like lecturing without nothing to back it up because all this stuff is Googleable. I'm just nosing into stuff. They probably look like, what? How is she even knowing this? Why is she looking at? Why is she Googling stuff? Why is she caring about these names? Like, if you look at the Mother Gas car, I think the Mother Gas car is what is, they act like it's the first human was in Africa coming from Somalia going down to Madagascar, which is an island, which doesn't make any sense. Why would you come down to an island and there's all this land going that way? But they act like they started from Somalia and come. But Madagascar is connected to the South Pole. If you look at that circle, Madagascar hits it. The back of South America is a peninsula to it. So you could have probably swam, Anyway, like, so if they're getting populated from Antarctica. Then you could tell the volcanoes, all the volcanoes are lined up in between. I told you, when you go to the map, put it in between. Don't let it show you how they show you. When you start Googling stuff, you're gonna see the map at all different kind of angles. And if you see it in these angles, you're gonna be like, I don't get where I'm at, but you better start Googling to see exactly where you at. Because it's going to be somebody that's right in America or something. You're going to be like, but it don't make no sense because it's in this peninsula. But it's like, it's just the way how you're viewing it. And this is how it's all about. It's about viewing it, whether you see a 6 or viewing it whether you see a 9. And that's where the zero lands at. So when they start telling history, sometimes they're going back behind 0. I took an engineering class. I know how to code so many zeros and ones. The computer doesn't recognize anything other than zeros and ones when you're programming it and you're coding it. When you're making any kind of apps, it's all zeros and ones. Then also you have to know how to do math on the keyboards. So all these like little stars, it's like multiplying, or the plus is and then it's dividing. It's all kind of math, and then you can click into some type of. It's like shortcutting. You shortcut on here and you can click into the program and do your mathematicals and all this other stuff. I didn't go on into engineering, it was annoying, but it did teach you a lot about the fibers and how only thing you need is a receivable and you know what I'm trying to say. And this is all that these people really, that they didn't discover anything. They're taking natural nature. We could do this on our own, and they studied us. Asians are the most biggest memes mimicking. They can sound just like a black person that they want to sing. Have you ever saw those shows in China where they have like people singing Aretha Franklin, and it's not Aretha Franklin, it's like some Chinese lady, and they're like, what? They're the most mimicking. They're the only people that be up in here too, like in the hood. They don't care. They own the supermarkets, they own the laundromats, they own the Chinese restaurants that you feed your children almost every night with. They own everything that you think other people own. They probably the people that's writing the checks and funding big businesses. They're behind it. They're the funders. They're the bankers. They're the ones that they're Cain. They are Cain. And we gotta say who's Cain. We gotta go to the Bible, right? Cain killed Abel. Everybody gotta start looking at Abe. When you see Abe, know that ad means away. So when we starting to see Abe, like Abraham, Abel, I don't care what Abe, anything, start dissecting, start word playing. Abel, when Cain killed Abel, was symbolic. He killed whoever was away from El. Abel, Abel. Whoever was away from El, death to them. Okay? Abel is the guy that sacrificed, blood sacrificed, and it was acceptable. Right? Cain tried to do something where more vegetarian, tried to some wheat or something. No blood involved, which sounds like something you should do, right? Which why probably Cain was upset. Like, why would that make any sense that you would deal with Abel and he's chilling over there and I'm over here cutting wheat. And it wasn't even the best wheat. He probably, they say he gave him whatever. It wasn't the best wheat, kept the best wheat for himself. Sounds like somebody that's going to head down to the Tropic of Capricorns, right? So, but anyway, let's follow me because anyway, it's symbolic anyway. Cain kills Abel when they get into an argument because obviously Abel was talking crazy, and they said once he said something like, something that he didn't like, it was boom, boom, pow to the moon. For him, it was just like a, whatever. Anyway, he gets it. And now Cain is on the run. Cain is on the run because he done hit up his brother. And his parents ain't that happy about it. But you got to understand that he did it for a reason. So now you just got to see the kind of personality this person is starting to get now because he can't be where everyone is no more. So if you have this kind of mindset where it's like, okay, well, if I can't be there, I'm going to create my own world and probably come back and conquer this one. Like if he has that kind of mindset and he's going, they show every time when people get kicked out, they going towards Mexico. When you go into history, they already had a Guantanamo Bay situation already in history. So we already know what this one is about. The one back in the days was where in Australia, where when they was having the wars in Americas and they was having these Indian wars and all that, they used to exile certain people that probably was down with them at some point or was doing, they say was committing murders, but when you look into the crimes that they committed, they were kind of like not wanting to be like slaves or indigent servants or what was once part of the colonies and kind of traded. So it's just the same kind of concept, like because they took these people to Australia to work in the mines, to do all this stuff. They was in terrain they never knew. They was over there still murdering and acting wild. It was basically the concept of when they throw criminals into a land and they kind of murder each other. Remember those movies? Because I'm telling you, everything that happens already has been shown all these movies have already been done. So when they're showing you like the Hunger Games and stuff like that, this has already happened. They're showing you what has happened already. Of them chasing people down and these people watching and all this stuff. Like this stuff has happened. It's just not gonna happen here. They're showing you it happened in the Yorkshires, Netherlands. It look like that's where most of that weird stuff will probably with the Hunger Games happen. The criminals. Remember the movies where they do criminals in like an island? That's what happened to these people in Australia. They exiled these the Ireland people. They were like, "Oh, I'm never going to bow down to you. You're not my god." Not, they weren't the Irish guys. You gotta understand the mixing of the blood creates red. So when you got these Asian, Chinese, Russian, these people mixing, Russia, Canada is like Russia, Asia gave us Hawaii. They sold us Hawaii, not because that's the conjunction to us. Okay, that's the conjunction to that side and to the Americas. And so when you got natives coming out to Russia from Hawaii end, they're turning red, and then they're turning porcelain white. Chinese, okay? So you see China and Russia and the Mongolian is it's right in between because that's the transition, okay? That's the transition of the red, the mixing of the blood, and them turning into, whatever they were doing over there. That I don't know if it had something to do with that explosion of the remote area in China 6,000, 5,000 years ago, because they said it got so deep down into the core of the earth that it went into some blue area, which is probably creating these blue blood. That's what they want to be, people or whatever. So you see the mixing of it, and so the Irish and all these red ain't red. It's the mixing. It's the mixing. Just like let me give you an example. Fabulous and Emily B. You can clearly see Emily B's daughter name is Latina because they're not Spanish like Puerto Rican, Dominican. I doubt it. They're probably from Mexican Yukon, Mexico, because those are the people that came. See what I'm saying? Or that's what they claim, but they're not originally from Mexico, Yukon, because they can't, so they will go even further back, going towards Hawaii, push them over. They're coming more from Spain, and people coming from more from Spain, not Portugal, because Portugal is more South African, but the Romanians. We're talking about Spain, still Russia, German, Asia, China. China, Russia is right in between Mongolians. So you see the transition happening. Emily and Fab, when they have children together, Fabulous last name is Jackson, if I'm not mistaken. When they mix, they're having red kind of with his Asian girlfriend, which is Karuchi Tran. I think we could all know that now, that Chris Brown's baby mama is Karuchi Chan. We know this now, right? They pay homage to the mass. These people are identity stealers. They're claiming to be white people. They're claiming to be German people. They're claiming to be, but it's just Chinese or Asian people. Chinese could be mixed. I don't want to say Asian too much because Asian could be more Indian, black, brownish. These are the so you got these people, and they're changing their hair, they're changing their colors, and they're doing things. So it's now more, okay, you're more Italian, you're more this or that. And then, as I stated, when you fill out an application, I'm sorry I jump all over the place, but when you fill out an application, I never finished that sentence. They ask you what's your ethnicity. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong, I don't care. They ask you what your ethnicity is. Do anybody know what being ethnic is? What is ethnic? What does ethnicity means? Everybody know ethnic got something to do with like black or like being, ethnic, which is weird because they're like, oh, that's that girl. You have any ethnic in you. And then they go on to asking you after you done told them whether you black, white, Hawaiian, something, whatever. They go on to asking you if you're non-Spanish or Spanish. Because they want to know if you have any Spaniard, Asian, Chinese in you. Not Puerto Rican or something descent. That's not what they're asking if you have Spaniard or what kind of ethnicity you have. So you got to understand ethnicity. Yeah, Cain was jealous of, he's a jealous guy. If you research the Capricorn sign, if we be honest, this most of the stuff is based off of the Capricorn sign. We have, because Capricorn sign, it begins and it ends. It can be very angelic or it can be very hellish. So this concept of Cain and Abel, they're both kind of the same concept, because Abel is still away from El. So they're kind of giving you a concept of this is the people that's not with El. And you already know who El is. It's Latin language, okay? If you look up the word Elohim, if you look it up, everything I do, I go like this and I look it up backwards, because that's how they're living. They're living their life like this to us. You ever saw that movie Us? They are basically these Asian Chinese people, these mimickers, which I don't care if they are or not. I don't care. Whatever they want to do, I just tell them calling it what it is. I have no issue. Like, trust me, that's not, I'm just explaining stuff. And that's why I don't even like to get into history, because it could be weird. But anyway, they mimic. So when you are not able to do something, and can you do, like Cain and Abel is kind of like a, can you do something, like I think I can, and are you able? Like, are you able to, like, stuff like that? It's kind of like that kind of concept. And then it's also like with Cain, it's hard to explain. Like I said, Cain is basically saying death to the people that's not with El. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he's already giving y'all an idea who he is and how he about to move going this way, because he's not even dealing with people that's not with El, which is the people from Americas. And that's why he's kicked out and he's out of there. And he's going towards the south border, okay? He's going towards the Tropic of Capricorn, where the sugar cane is at, where the volcano things is going to start happening, where a lot of things. The cane goes into a lot of stuff, and I can't really think of, but because I'm just all over the place. So anyway, they back into the ethnicity. So you gotta understand that you either mix with a lot of black, a little bit of black, no black, or you mix with some Spaniard, which is some Chinese, a little bit of Chinese, or no Chinese. Ain't nothing else going on out here. So you're wasting your time with the race stuff, because the race stuff is just these supremists, which is the Chinese people cousins doing a distinct job for them. And they're supremos, they're supremos. You're suprema is. Okay, your cousin doing distinct job for me. So that's all they were doing. And you already know that these Spaniard people can consist of North African people, because we already know what the Moors wanted. They wanted more. And we could get into the Moors. Let's get into Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler, if you look at his name, Adolf, and you read it backwards, it spells out Florida. And if you look at Hitler, the is like, means more. So everything that we're saying with is kind of like they put their names in our words too, because anything like a means more. So, and you already know who the Moors are, right? These are these North American, and people got to understand that when you Google the Moors, they tell you they're from America first. They say they're American, North Africa. They say American first. They direct. These people are coming from probably most likely South America or wherever, or probably up from the top of North America or wherever, because as I advised you with the Yorkshires and the Netherlands is this little island, which I don't know how it all broke apart, but a lot of the castles and stuff are up there. And I think the Yorkshires, the North African people started selling out their land and stuff. They sold the Yorkshires to somebody, and they started trying to sell the Scots and all that, and all kinds of things was going on. And then they tried to bring that, they tried to come on, in America. They hit Canada first. They hit, the Ottoman people, they hit Canada first, selling the furs, bubbling the furs, and they, while they was coming up there, they attacked us through Florida. They sent the Hitler, the Moors hitmen to Florida, the Germans, and you see all that germs that spread it. They wiped out the whole area. Look at the history. So by the time they was tearing up the Canada and upstate, they fighting upstate with these dudes, the Native Americans, talking about we cool with Britain. We ain't cool with none of these people. They came and washed us out. So up in Canada, we fighting, we all spread out in Canada, comfortable Hawaiian people and Native American people, and they come snaking out in the corner. And then when they start making their way in, and then they start fighting, boom, fight starts to spark out, and then they start fighting towards Buffalo, New York, and Toronto. A lot of fights started happening down there, and the bridge, that King's Bridge that hits you to the Bronx, and from Canada, kind of like, I'm not even Canada, like going up that way where it was all fighting and stuff. It's all castles. This is where all the brick buildings and beautiful homes were, the big castles, all that. It's all in Canada, all up in upstate New York. And then when you get towards Michigan and all that stuff, because they were backing us down, like the Iroquois Indians, the Montauk, and the native. They say they Indians, and they show you some Indian people. These are like native black. If you look at the Cuban people used to look black like us, like native people. Even Mexico before the Cortez and all the Spaniards, the Chinese people invaded y'all. We were all native people that looked something like this, or darker, richer colors, or light paler colors. Look up pale as something time. It was like pale as something times. That was like the very, very beginnings. Pale. I mean, come on, I can't give you a whole history lesson in one or whatever. It's so much, so it's like impossible. I wish I could make it make sense. But you gotta start, like the sub-Sahara, it's just like the junction. It's like where people was meeting up at. They making up this stuff as they go, bro. They stole Africa and India. Chinese people, they wanted some melanin. They snatched it. They know how to go in the caves. They know how to move these Platonians. They know how to do it. They break it down. I got a video. They break it down. They in there. It's like 33 degrees sometimes. Like, oh my God. They moving these planets. They moving these. Okay. If y'all don't believe me, y'all believe me. And in certain parts, like going over to London and stuff, the sun don't shine. The sun don't shine. They living on the side of the moon that the sun don't shine well. If you look at Egypt and Washington D.C., that's on our side, because I don't know how they got a Washington D.C. over here by Las Vegas. Then they got a Washington D.C. right in, like, really, what is this? But anyway, the Washington D.C. capital is literally strategically, specifically placed. Always was there first. Then you got Egypt specifically placed to line up with the capital of Washington, D.C. They are doing some type of force field connections going on. If you rip it down, I put money on it. That moon probably won't show no more. These stars will probably go like they got, like, this is high wired. This whole thing is high wired. I wouldn't be surprised if the land don't start having some type of hydraulics one day. This stuff is high wired, Holmes, okay? They got this stuff high wired underground. They are so deep underground. They under the water. They so deep in this core. And then you gotta understand the core of the earth and the water. See, where we getting the Uranus, the sky, where you get the name Uranus is like your anus, right? So what does the sky would do? What does your anus do? Your anus shits, right? So the sky is when it relieves itself, it's rain. So that's why it's called Uranus. The sky god is called Uranus because it's literally when Uranus out, it's basically saying it's raining, right? And then it's going to feed the Mother Earth. The Mother Earth core is what's is seeding, and things erupt. And this is where the Titans. This is where they get the concepts of the Titans from. We're the Titans because if you look into the word titanium, titanium is all living things has titanium. Everything on earth that is living and alive has titanium in it. Okay, so when they say we're from the Titans, all of us are absolutely, because we will have titanium in us. Titanium could be derived from elements of the core of the earth. So when Uranus is letting out and is seeding the core of the earth and is making things lava and molten and bubble up like a pimple, and then boom, you get in a volcano, you get in a mountain maybe that could turn into a volcano because it needs to release 50 shades of gray. Okay, it's going to release 50 shades of gray. All right. Can't really explain that. Like, they're not going to explain to you much, but this is, they try to explain as much as they could. But the people that's explaining this to us, they don't have natural abilities because maybe I believe that at some point it's like the Asians or the Chinese people are our cousin Vinny. If that makes any sense, it's like it was a cousin, like some guy messed with two sisters. That's my opinion. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I believe it's that, this person is able to have two sisters, have two different kind of babies or whatever, and then they go on to being melanated and not and then, more or less non-melanated. And so they are cousins. Native people and these Asian people are cousins, okay? We're all related. It's not, and then they say God doesn't acknowledge somebody, but that probably is the eruption from 6,000 years ago in China. That's probably what he's not acknowledging, because at that point, all the alchemists and all the scientists and all these things, these people are nuts. Like, they all get together, these men, majority men, and they needed an army, and I believe that they created the Chinese army. And best to believe, China got an army. They got an army on them. They don't even want them to reproduce so much because they're so reproductive over there. So I wouldn't be surprised if they knew how to look up the volcano in China. What happened there? How it went so deep in the blue. So what did it create? What did the 50 shades of that create? When it blew out. So also with the Mongolians, with the Russians, the Tsars, the whatever, the emperors, the people that bring the pain. They are the ones that create. I said, well, who created guns? Who created gunpowder? Who created? Because we already see that's what's really beating us. They can't beat us any other way. Those are who created it. Chinese people. Chinese people created guns, gunpowder, bombs. They were shooting off on ships like 4th of July. I'm going to show you Mongolian clips of them just shooting off. Happy 4th of July. They bombing people. Boom. They don't went from like bombs to like a bunch of bombs to like M80 bomb one. They just needed to throw one. Boom. So why are we trying to figure out who's the war Mongols and who's the gods of war and who's really the problem, right? Anyway, you don't have to figure that out. But you could know the mindset. You could know how things are going to go forward, because his history repeats itself. I already told you they did a Guantanamo Bay with their traders already in Australia. So this is a repetitive situation where they're trying to gather Hillary and I'm like, oh, traitors, let's put them in Guantanamo Bay. And the only thing they're doing is putting them on Cuba. And that's probably why Cuba is tight. Like, get these people out of here. They're not locking them up. They letting them loose in the streets and they making them work and slave and stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, they go into being part of their community to now we're putting you in, it's a different kind of court system with them. And that's why they got everything shut down. They don't even care about them keeping people on the island more than what they need to be. So they could get they affairs together on who they kicking out and who they keeping in and who they putting in Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. And if you look at the street, if you go into the Google Maps, it's called the street leading to Guantanamo is called D State backwards. These people are scammers, scam artists. This is all a scam. The Bible, if you look at it, it's like Yeah. With job. So we got to understand who Cain is. So I already told you, Cain is obviously the age. It's the Asian people. We're not gonna even play games. It's too hot, and I'm about to get out of here. So Cain, if you look up the Nephlons, like the Neph and the Neph clan, it explains two different kind of people. I believe they're the Neph clans and we're the Neph clans. The Neph clans are very anal, but the thing is they don't have natural ability like the Neph clans. So the Neph clans have to do it like through device. So if they want to be on our level, brain wise, this wise, they have to be on this device. This device can't keep up with my brain. And my brain moves way faster than a computer. My shit be moving. And we already know that the cranium is the replication of the world. Like this is the South Pole, this is the North Pole, and it's like God has it in the whole world in his hands. And the polar is we're living in a, and if you think of Pandora, I got so many things like Pandora box. Think of Dora the Explorer and Diego, and who was following them saying swipe or no swiping. The monkey kept telling him exploring Dora and Diego. You see how they add Diego in? The monkey was telling her to swipey, no, stop swiping. And they're like, no, we're explorers. And she going on with her little Chinese bob. Okay? Exploring. Swipey, no swiper land. He's telling them stop. But anyway, and like I said, I'm not talking about Spanish people. I'm not talking about Chinese people and stuff on. It's just so happened that Chinese people speak perfect Spanish. So understand where your dialect is coming from. Portuguese is nothing but a South American, African, mixed Spanish. I don't know what's going on. Armenians, they're all up in there. And all they do is want to slave us. The innocent people, even including people from their own country. They don't care. Part you don't get. They're doing it to their own people. They leave their people to a lot of things. So, I'm not talking about the people. I feel way worse for the people and for us because they're tearing us. Like, everyone should feel bad for themselves if you're not a part of this crew, if you're not benefiting, and then you really don't want to be a part of them because they're so sick. Like, it's all about the blackmail. I used to play that game. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the blackmail. It's all about, what I got on you, what you got on. I know a lot of people. If you looked at Hassan Campbell live, I agreed with a lot of things he said that I can't say. They're all from New York. Everybody knows everybody. Couldn't agree with most of them. I agree with a lot of things said, but I ain't going to get into it because I don't get involved. I don't live where he lives. I live out here. But anyway, so let's get back to God and job. So Cain, I know I'm all over the place. Cain is like, he's going to be the person in the screen. He's not going to be me. But the person in the screen is me, if that makes any sense. But the person in the screen wants to be me, like the movie Us. So the person in the screen is playing weird games with me, okay? So this is Cain. Cain knows that they are the reflection of you. They know that they could play with your psyche. They could play with you through whatever you're watching, through the mirror, through the TV, through this. They know that they could play with you through this. So be careful when you're looking through things. They know they are the ones that created the internet and the receptor and the receivers, and they're not the ones that created it. Let me take that back. Stolen. We've already had these connections and stuff since Antarctica. If you look at the policy of Antarctica, it starts off saying something about Alexander something, then it has like an area that says Graham, then it has something that says Bella something. If you put those three, it's right next to each other. If you put it together, it says it really means Alexander Graham Bell. And if you look up Alexander Graham Bell, they say that they credited him with inventing the telephone and other inventions of the such. Credited him. And they didn't say they could have left credited out. Okay? He didn't invent a goddamn thing. We had it already. It's been around forever. It's hijacked. It's being sold back to us. And they don't want people to know that. A lot of people had to go. A lot of people had to go so this could work. So they could say you're from Africa and go back there or something. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I already showed you I'm not from Africa. I showed you my great on my father's side. My father's a veteran. My father's father, he got like the triangle American flag. When he passed away, they gave us the triangle American flag. He served in the war. I don't know what the hell. I want to show you a picture of William Jackson. Young Pharaoh had this on his. He tried to like say like don't celebrate Father's Day because of William Jackson or something from when they came. First of all, if you look at William Jackson, I'm gonna have to show you this another day. That's gonna be something else. Not gonna get to that yet because those people look like us. We don't look like them, and I can prove it with the same picture he showed. I'm gonna prove that picture and show you that we do not look like them. England took on our surname when they came over here. England came over here through Canada. I told you already, they were the first people. England, the Italians, they were the first one to come and claim it over here through Canada. That was from like 14 something. I don't know. So they took on our surnames. Anyway, yeah, and then some of them was intermixing, and they look like us, and I'm gonna prove it. Anyway, you see my great great grandparents, from the late 1800s, no slave. Obviously, it was bad deals being made. It was people ripping people off. It was them stealing these people's homes. Weird contracts that didn't mean nothing. Just all this documentation because they know what they're doing. So anyway, the reflection of the mirror is the concept of job. Job is the mirror. Job is the mirror, and God would be me, right? So what they are doing, right, is like if you spell out God and you spell out job, spell God out like. Oh, should I get a pen and do it for you guys? I mean, I should, and then try to end it here, right? Let me see. Yeah, so I don't know who's still with me. It seems like a couple who's still with me, and thank you because I don't know who would be up at this time of night. But I felt like if I don't do it now, I'll have to wait till all the way next week. And I think next week I'm going to do a better. Hopefully, I can figure out how to get on here so I can Google and show you. And when I'm like, oh, Antarctica, look at the names. I want to show you guys, and I want to show you the suffix and breaking up the names through Spanish. So I could, if you don't know Latin, I could dialect some of these words because you'll know it in English right away what they're trying to tell you. Yeah, so what I just want to show you real quick before I get out of here, we're living in two different worlds. We're living in God's world. Let me do job first. We're living in Job's world. And mind you, they're not going to spell God or uppercase levels because they're obviously not talking about the real God. But this is their concept, right? So then we got God, and then job, and then we're going to have, okay. If I spell God, okay, so if I spell God backwards, and I spell job, when you fold them, it literally forms. See, just try it. Because you know who Job is inside the Bible. He questions a lot that God. He wants to know why and things like that. So we got to understand why this matters. So if you, like I tell you, you got to do this with like the word and everything. It's kind of like you got to clip it up together. So when you fold job and God, like when you do this, I don't know if you could see it. It kind of folds perfectly on top of each other. The B and the D literally lines up. The O lines up, and the G, the capital G and the J lines up perfectly, right? Literally perfectly. So they're basically, we're living in it. We want to live in the world of God, but Cain have us living in the world of job. Okay. Let me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, if that makes any sense, and trust me, I would love to explain what Cain is, but I cannot get into it right now. Obviously, it's going to be based off of a Capricorn person. Capricorn is a January version, and then there's a December. They put them in splits for a reason. January, unfortunately, it goes more with the pan situation with all this pan stuff, and the December Capricorn is more like they have Jesus and Judas for a reason. So Jesus will be more like the December Capricorn, and Judas will be more like the January Capricorn. If you don't know about Pan or Janus, the Greek god or whatever, Jan, he's based off of the month of January, and this is obviously a January Capricorn Pete the Pied Piper. This is why R. Kelly has that name for his role that he plays in this biblical world stage. And I can name a lot of people with their biblical world stages, all of them, everyone that has a big platform, all of these people, even the ones that are arguing right now, like, they're all, and even the ones you think are not, then anyone with a platform, stop. They're a part of it. Start looking at the features too. It'll tell you exactly who they're down with. I can tell you exactly who everyone is down with and what. Anyway, I've done too much research, guys. Like, my game is over. And the thing is that even if the game is over, it's like they'll come out with a PS4, PS5. So I don't even care about knowing it all, because even when you think you done beat the levels and figured it all out, and like, oh, I get it. It's not even the word isn't as big as you think it is. And then it's like, they'll still hit you with the heat, because we still ain't even get to Antarctica, and who knows if the whole Antarctica is still frozen. They could just be showing us the tip of the part and then all the way back. And they saying no, Antarctica is just a land period. So, anyway, they're not going to show us any of that information. And let's be honest. It was one point, it was a one land, and now it's like sprouted across, like it's like a ice wall. They gotta explain this. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But because they're hiding and they're lying, and they just want you to have a job. That's why they want you to. They don't want you to do what Abel. They don't want you to do what Abel was doing, chilling, and they want you to do what Cain was doing. Like, he was up doing his job, he was the more responsible person. He was doing his job. He felt like Abel was doing God's will. So you gotta understand that the people with Cain that's living in Cain's world, that's ruling our asses, because it's the Russian and it's the Cain, cocaine and volcano. You gotta understand where the cane is coming from. The hurricane. You gotta understand what Cain means. This person is this thing is overtaking our God, and they're creating jobs. They want us to all have jobs, okay, or be a god. Which one are you going to be? If you're a god, you don't have to have a job. But if you ain't a god, you gotta have a job. And if you don't, and the thing is, they get down with these people that think they're gods and take their jobs and think they don't have a job, and then they find out they have just as hard a job as us. These jobs, their deals are silly. Their deals are sick. You got to be the clown gesture to be working for them. You got to be a big distraction, super big distraction. You got to be okay with disrespecting your family and saying like, oh, they never support me, or oh, he's my friend, or oh, don't worry. They are such a big giant propaganding, wanting you to argue, wanting you to not like somebody, wanting you to talk about color, wanting you to. Instead of just realizing that we shouldn't be working, we shouldn't be doing any jobs, we shouldn't be, they don't want you to focus on none of that. You better be a slave and a good one. for the rest of your lives. They've been enslaving us forever. Ever since they kicked Cain out of this place, and then they act like God's protecting him, marking him with marking him. But only thing they really marked him with was that we could tell through his looks on who they are. So they start to disguise, they start to mask up, they start to put prosthetics on, they start to look like white people, black people, brown people, this people, that people. What part y'all don't get? What y'all think is going on here? Only people that don't know what's going on here is people that got 9 to 5s, that work, that go to school. What did somebody say on one of those YouTube? There's like, oh yeah, like you better go get a 9 to 5 or go to school. Like which one of them said that? Like Kwame Brown or whatever? I'm like, of course that's what you'll say, because if you don't do that, only option is a 9 to 5 and go to school, loser. Like this basically, if we're not a criminal, being big judge, when we try to be a criminal, they lock us up. But when they are criminals, they don't even go to jail. Like Martha Stewart and go to fake jails. Like they are criminal. They when criminals a criminal, they send them to fake jail. Like Martha Stewart, a criminal. She sent her money to Swiss cheese ratland, Switzerland, where the Swiss cheese rat grind. They send it stealing all people's money. Can't get none of it back. So they send it to the Swiss cheese rat land. That's why they put them big rats in front of places like, oh, this place is, Why do you think they got the rat with Mickey Mouse, with Hitler, Walt Disney? Because the first computer device looked like a mouse head. It was 2 receivers and a base head. So it looked like a mouse head. So this is Adolf Hitler, German discovery. They just were able to do something that was already here and pretending. Listen, I'm not even going to get into how they got the electrical, how they got control of all of it, because they know they didn't invent a goddamn thing. All the inventions are from Black people. They just get credited. They take the credit. They were able to put their names in things like we're not allowed to. They stopped us from reading and writing and things like that, so we can no longer be able to have the abilities we had, not because of anything else. That's what all the stopping and the cease of this, and actually we're even still alive. There wasn't much left. They had us scattering all upstate. My mother said back in the days they used to call us Nagras, not niggers, not Nagras, like the Niagara Falls. And imagine if you Google what was found down in the Niagara Falls, there was plenty of bodies down there, probably full of Nagras. Okay, that's where all the big fights were. That's where the Indian War, the Indian or whatever, that's where the last hurrahs were. Okay, so most of all our castles, all our buildings, all our stuff was at upstate New York, Canada, and in New York, not New York, Bronx, Manhattan. That was marshmallow land. They said it was always a marshmallow land. These people set up shop in all our swamp areas, move us from the roots of where we belong, where we know we're supposed to be, because we were already we were here from day one. Like, I don't know how much more. Like, I don't know how it works, but they cannot get the space that they want to get, And they're working. They've been chipping since day one. They've been chipping us away. The plan is still straightforward of chipping, getting these people out the way. That's still the plan. I think now that they're trying to stop hospitals, they're trying to, hurt us because they made us forget how to do the stuff we already. This was our stuff from the jump. That's what the Huxtable shows is all about. He show you a variety of all the kids they can have, from Theo color to the one with the twins color, Sandra, showing you what 2 Black people can have. All those kids, all those colors, all those different hairstyles, all those hair textures. 2 same Black people, doctor and lawyer. I could be a lawyer, I could be a judge. I'll eat you. You know what I'm saying? They just stole our stuff. My mother said that all my family members had great jobs growing. They were executives in Morgan Stanley, in Morgan Stanley this, and my other aunt, she was an RN delivering my brothers and them at Brookdale Hospital. Went on to North Carolina, delivered me in Greensboro, nurse all her life. All of them had great careers. Why can't black people do that? That ended around that time frame. They started to take up black American people out of those positions, and now it became go to school, do this, and do all these things to start boxing you out. When those were our positions in the first place, those were our qualifications to be there. We didn't have to have these nursing school, and then most of these, the immigrants and stuff coming over here getting into these. I couldn't even get into a nursing seat. It was all stuffed up, even with a great GPA. This ain't by accident. This is to get people out and put certain people in, and they constantly trying to just diminish us to zero, which is what we always end up with. So when they say, "Oh, the Jehovah's Sasara and all this stuff," most of these people are not from here. Let's see where they're from. Please show us where they're. And then look at the abuela. Abuela means ab. And they go that ab word again. Your grandparents are away from away. Abuela. Away grandparents. So I'm gonna leave it there. I don't want people to think that for 1 second I could care less about any kind of race, because I already told you some people think I'm talking about Spanish people and they don't even know Spanish people is Chinese people. So we gotta understand that it's not about race ever. We gotta figure out if these Chinese people are not recognized by God, maybe because of this volcano. When they're figuring out that people could be created through volcano, 50 Shades of Grey, titanium, blah blah blah. When they could figure that out, and they probably tried to. These people are experimenting all natural stuff and turning it into GMO device created. Market. This is what the market of the beast is all about. It's what Cain has to do this to survive, but we don't. So we can take all this stuff down at any moment, but we like it. We like to look at ourselves in the mirror. We like to tape ourselves. We like to be. Cain knows these black people want to be in the camera. They want to be in the mirror. They want to be. They created that for us. They created that because they want to exist in this world. We don't need them. We don't need them, but we want them. We want some of this stuff. We want it. The vid is telling you, if you want to get out of job and get back to God, if you want to get out of job and get into God, if you want to get out of Cain's world, you gotta get rid of Cain's shit. But you don't want to. You're not going to. You want it. Anyway, I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna be able to do my 1, 2, 3 devil talk. Because if you do the process of elimination with the Bible, if you do algebra, they give you information of if it's the man, if it's the ox, if it's the eagle, if it's the chevron. They give you enough, and then you could do a process of elimination of, well, it can't be the ox or it can't be so we can figure out who the devil was coming from the sea. Obviously, it's a dragon. We don't even have to take long. The sea is from China. The devil coming from the top, it's the pirate West Indian, the Spanish, So we already know who the devil is, coming from both ends. It's coming from the top, this guy, because I already told you with the Haitian guy, that podium. I'm gonna try to hook it up for y'all, so y'all can keep up with me. The Haitian guy, that podium, it's called Constant something, Constant C, and it'll take you to the North Pole. It'll take you up there. It all has something to do with it. It's all wrapping up together. It wouldn't be no point in me showing you this anyway, because you can't see it. Even if I tried to show you it, you can't see it because it's not even working. So I would love for me to be able to get on this computer and really Google and do things like that. But it's not working out for me. And I would like to show you guys also the animals. If you Google the United States looks like a whale. So we're on baby beluga, and then on top of this whale is a goddamn turtle. And then underneath the turtle and the whale, I believe, is some type of fish. And that's where the fin is coming from with Mexico. And I think the fin follows all the way up to Finland, up to England. And that's the continuation from Mexico to, if y'all don't believe me, Australia with that dog. We got Mexico with the fish fin. the back of it and the beginning of it, I believe, is in Finland. Up in the Finland is a rabbit. So we already see the rabbit in the turtle race, where the rabbits are cheaters. But the turtles take it nice and slow, and they end up winning in the end. So let's hope that that is reality, and that those tall tales are not, just being told for fun, because history is repeating itself anyway. So they know that the rabbits, these Finland, these people up in Netherlands are not going to win ever. They always get exiled back out. These are exiled people. I think these people have always been here. They've always been exiling people. They're just not telling us that, because it's already been proven that the Guantanamo Bay from Australia, at the times they were exiling people before from their government that was betraying them. So we already know that history is repeating. So I could predict things because it's repeating. This is why I'm telling you certain stuff, because I already saw this. This is all they already made these big stirs already. So I'm just telling you from what happened 30 years ago, and I'm like, yo, it's the same stuff, just different people, different. They're just playing all these games. I hope you're not watching any of those Love and Hip Hop shows. I hope you didn't watch Ari Big Mask Head for her birthday. Like, you saw how fake they try to stir up drama just so you could watch this girl wear. Like, I could have wore all those outfits and looked just as cute. Anybody could have wore those outfits and looked just as cute with her makeup artist, her wig stylist, and this is what they do. They come over here from a different. They are naked over there. They are naked, and young Pharaoh can't even put his clothes back on. That you see when they show you them over there in them countries, and in India or whatever, and they say, oh, look at the native people from Japan and the native people from Maya or whatever, because Maya is a little island right by Japan and all that, in India, and all, so what they were. This is their people. Great, we don't care. But I don't understand why he looks African. And so you're mixed all up with India, Japan and Asian, not Chinese. Japan, Asian, Malaysian, it's like Tupac, the Incas, like this, like a dreadlock, Rasta. I don't know what they are. So they wear their little underwear because it's hot out there. It's hot past Tropic Capricorn, past the equator. It's hot. So they wear their little underwear. And young Pharaoh Kid, he's live in effect from America, talking about Egypt. Live, coming to you live from America, praying about Egypt, wishing about, him and his skin, Sumara said he's a skin, his Capricorn handler. He's a skin artist. It says in Sumara Seti's bio that he went to where they say Kemet, ancient Egypt. Yeah, ancient Egypt. Let me stop. No, I'm not like that. I think they all cool people. I watch their content. I like to listen to all stories. Just because I'm from America don't mean I don't want to hear about the other side. I'll call it Asia, but if you want to call it Africa, whatever, it don't matter. Africa is really South America. That's where you stole those African people from. But anyway, in the Indian people. So, Sumara Seti was in ancient. He went and studied in ancient Egypt, and ancient Egypt told him to go to South America. He ended up in South America. He went there for 2 minutes, and then all the researchers in South America, what are you there for? What are you in ancient Egypt for? For a day or two? For 2 weeks? And then you're going to be 3 to 4 years in South America researching that religion and that origin of those people, the Armenians, let's look and see. Let's look and see who they are. It's the Armenians and all kinds of people is, so, he had to go back over there. So live, Sumara Seti and all them live full effect in America, like, Africa, bro, it don't cost that much to get over there. Why are you live from America saying all that? But don't let them get. They not going up. They over here saying that. Don't go over there. Don't let them gash out and go over there. The thing is, I don't mind going over there, right? But a lot of people, when they go over to different countries, they have family members to pick them up at the airport. So that's why we don't never go. Y'all never could trick us to go there because we have no family to call to pick us up at that airport. Like, no one's going to come get us. We ain't related to nobody out there. So stop telling us to go there. We're not going there if I can't call nobody and say, hey, come get me and show me around. I don't know nobody from there. Nobody knows me from there. If I show you, if I put my picture up to any of those people, we don't look like family. We don't look related. We don't look directly related. We probably related down the line when there was less people in the world. But now, you don't gotta have sex with your sister and brother and cousin no more. So many people to choose from. God was given a blind eye in biblical times because how would you reproduce? Go and do what you need to do. But when there was enough people, he started to watch and say, hey, no more dealing with your cousin. No more, So if you want to keep doing, these people want to keep doing it, they could, but he's watching. I know y'all put a dome over us, but they can still see. Next time they'll put a glass dome, they can still see. Yeah, so the South African people, whatever. I can't find nothing right now. So what? Because I had different places. I thought I was just gonna be on here, and with the Key and Pell, dude. Oh my God, all this stuff is connected, y'all. You know the Pell is like when they first came to Canada, it's some company called something Pell. Like I was just like, and then it's like something Key. So I was like, Key and Pell, like yo, isn't that a comedian group? And then ain't Key the dude that's harassing Dr. Umar? Am I bugging? Isn't that YouTube dude Leonard? Who would sit there and harass Dr. Umar every day for 3 years about him not building a school? We know he ain't gonna build a school. I could have told you he was gonna build a school. He's a Leo. They just want a support group. And he gonna tell you that he here to help. And he might got good intentions to really help, but let's be honest, like they Pan-African. It was their whole intention to just rip off the black community. This is what they're here for. And they do it with a smile on their face, and that's why they look wow now. You're not gonna ever win. Like you're not gonna. Good luck to you guys. That's why these people be looking rough. Absolutely, a bunch of spells. All this stuff is spelled. Look at verses. Look at the verses battles. Look at Bow Wow and Soldier Boy. That was a whole world stage op. Bow Wow represents the Incas that died from the Cortez people. Soldier Boy real name is Deontay Cortez Way. I said, how y'all don't know this? They made Bow Wow go up against Soldier Boy like as if Cortez was beating up the Inca people again. Bow Wow is the Inca native entity, whatever they are, and Soldier Boy represents Cortez, this North Spaniard, Portuguese, whatever. Because Soldier Boy real name is something Cortez Way, and Cortez is in Bow Wow. If you read his name backwards, is Mob Moms. Mob Moms. Bow Wow backwards is Mob Moms. Because the Mob Moms, I just watched this show the other day. It was like I'm telling you, they give me all this stuff for reasons. It was called Kindergarten Cop, and that guy, he's the Terminator. The Australia, he's not from Australia. He's Austria. He's an Austria. That down to be like, I'll be back. He's from Austria. That's where they got their Terminators from. Okay, and that's by Germany and all that. So Bow Wow in that the verses, Bible verses. Bow Wow Mob Moms. His mom, the manager, the Mob Moms, right? These Mob Moms are like the Griseldas, the Griseldas that hold more weight than a little bit. You know what I'm saying? These are the Mob Moms that they talk about. These are the women that were reigning. They have women that reign and kick ass and do all this kind of stuff. So these are the Mob Moms. This is what Bow Wow represents in the biblical world. They all represent somebody in the biblical world. Tupac is actually Tupac Amor, the Inca. That's why his stupid butt was sent back. And I say that about him because he's a killer. He's alive, That's why they saw a killing in Malaysia. They all related. To South Africa, they all related. He like, ducking out. Bruh. They're shift shapers. Dick Gregory already said, Dick Gregory was from South America. He already said he's an indigo child. They shift shapers. This is where we get the airplanes, rubber and stuff from. This is why our airplanes are buoyant. We get it from South America. That's where all those resources come from. That's where the merchants, the Moors, they come in, the Cortez and all that. They came from there to there, jumping on their backs. And the Moors, the North, they hitting people at the North. This is these North African men, French men, that collab, and it's all colors, not just African men. That's why it can get confusing. And that's what they want it to be. They want it to be confusing. So you won't realize that we're just getting raped in America. They tearing us out. Anyway, so it was still slaves and getting raped in America. It's nothing new. They're just changing the game. They reinnovating themselves every step of the way, so they won't lose that power. So Bow Wow and so the kindergarten cop. If you look at the guy that the white lady was running away from, it's like he looked like an Asian type dude, but he was acting like he was some businessman from London or something. You know what I'm saying? He was some Asian type looking dude. The moms, if you really look at the mother, she was Asian like looking too, and she was busting her gun and she was giving the son medication. But he was like, "Oh, why are you picking up this medication for my son? You shoved that down my throat, and there was nothing wrong with me." And she was like, "Oh, that's why nothing was wrong with you." Like giving him all that medication, like that's why you were out of control, because I was medicating you. This is the mindset of the Griselda, the mob moms, right? So you gotta understand that's all. Look, I could decode all that for you if y'all want, but I gotta have a better system than this. I can't keep just talking, because I don't even know if y'all really getting a whole picture unless I show you the angles of the maps and show you how they started, where we split from, why they became Asian and we stayed native. They went wrong way, or maybe they went that way on purpose to be innovators, to be explorers, to that world, not America. America was already set out and explored and known. And whatever happened in Antarctica, I'm pretty sure it was some type of explosions, because these people like to set off bombs, bro. That's all they do. Those people, 9/11, all that's them watching. They setting bombs. These people are weird. I don't know why they set all these bombs off. Ask them why they send all these bombs off. I'm definitely not trying to monetize this live. And I bet not get into no more of these issues they've been causing me, man, because I'm talking too much. And I'm gonna try to get, it's too late now, I gotta go. I'm gonna try to get into Cane, because I could literally break Cane down. I could break the A down. I could break all this stuff down. Most of it is in Latin. It's in Latin. So once you start dissecting the words, you'll see exactly what it means. It's not going to be too much to explain after that. And as I said, if you look at Elohim upside backwards, it spells whole. So Elohim means whole. It just means whole. So when you look at it, when it's in the verse, when it talks about Elohim, put the word whole there and read the sentence and let that make more sense than to say Elohim. Change the word into whole when you read that. So just like with Bow Wow, like I said, backwards, upside down is mob moms, and he was fighting. They were battling Cortez way, Soldier Boy. Who you think won? I think Soldier Boy should have won, right? Biblically, Soldier Boy should have won. This is the weird games they're playing with us. You saw Keisha Cole's mother. These people want to stay in the game. Okay. I already explained to you what they believe in. They believe in these merchant, these Cortez way people. They believe these Asian, the Russian, the Tatars. Look what the Tatars and these people did to their women, and why the Asian women started off the feminist stuff. They started off the feminist stuff because these men were torturing these women, man. They had torture things for their nipples, and they were doing all kinds of stuff to these women. And I'm like, so you see why they started the feminist thing as well. It's all coming from Russia, Asia. All of it, everything. All these people that's on TV, all these people that got big views and all that, Asiatic. I don't care if they're black, they look Mexican, I don't care who they are. Poppy from the Bronx, he's not Asiatic, but you could tell he's probably one of those people that was like mixed, you know, like he looks like, you see the eyes, the popped eyes. So he's mixed. He's mixed with a native person. These are the people that probably, like I said, some people, they get taken under other people that don't look like probably an African. You see what I'm saying? And we already know who that is. Boom, but we're gonna go on. I don't want to get involved. I don't get involved. I just do history and I do my little. I'm going forward. I'm going to keep it cute for YouTube because I'm not into this kind of stuff. Like I don't want to get into this. You know, I just try to put people onto things because if y'all think my keep it cute videos is like made up and stuff, it's not made up. A lot of stuff I kind of pinpoint and I see, and then some stuff I kind of know because I live in areas and I've always been outside. I know I've met Bow Wow. He's not Little Mama. I literally know Little Mama from the hood. The very next building. I like grew up around her mother's side of the family. You know, went to school with their family, probably dated some of their family. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Know her. Never went and spoke to her personally, like even when she's like 2 steps away from me because she's younger than me. And I really wasn't into her at the time. I saw all her little shows in the big park up there. You know, she performed for the hood and all that. She's a regular person, you know, not a regular person. She's in the game. Look at her father's side. I'm done with that. Now, Bow Wow, met him, so we know we're not the same person, right? Because wouldn't I know if I saw if Bow Wow trying to come holler at me in Vegas and me hugging him and speaking to him, telling me happy birthday and all that, and us having a conversation, I'm trying to tell me to come back, but I didn't go because I had somebody with me and they didn't want my friend to come. And my friend just wanted me to give their business card anyway. And I didn't even get to go do that because they came to me first. The Bow Wow fat friend, black fat friend, I don't know who he is, came and told me that he wanted, you know, I had a nice outfit on. So I'm not surprised they came to me. And then Bow Wow came before he went to perform. Or he was hosting a stripper pole thing, whatever. I don't care if you don't remember this day. This is a long time ago. This is like 5 or 7 years ago. Anyway, I think I would have known that was Little Mama. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's impossible for Bow Wow to be trying to holler at me talking to him and hugging him and saying, hey, you know, wish me happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. He speaks and he goes on to do his business and see if, you know, he let me know, like, if you want to roll through after the party, I could come to wherever they was going. But I had my friend and they didn't want this person to roll for a reason. I understood. But I wasn't going to leave my friend. And I wasn't really trying to hang out with Bow Wow and stuff. Like, that wasn't my type. Not saying it wasn't my type. I was a little bit taller than him. We was like the same height. But the thing is, it ain't Little Mama. You think Little Mama would have tried to hug me and say, when I'd be like, bruh, this is weird. You Bow Wow? You understand what I'm saying? I'd have told Little Mama, like, bro, you Bow Wow, bro? I don't think Little Mama would even came near me if she'd have saw me. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not going to say people are incorrect, but I'm just going to tell you that, you know, what you want me to do. You know, I'm not going to make a video ever saying Little Bow Wow is Little Mama, because they're not. That's why they were able to be on live together. That's why they were able to be on a show together. Let's see some of the videos I did. Let's see some of them celebrities be on the same show and do some lives. Let's not waste our time with Little Mama and Little Bow Wow, because I already explained to you, I know her family. She's her mother's side. I know her. I've seen her plenty of times. And when I met Bow Wow personally, definitely would have known Little Mama was trying to holler at me. Why would she do that? As soon as she walked my way and saw it with me, she would have been like, oh, I can't holler at her. Oh, that's Candace from the hood. And she knows me. Or she don't know me like, I don't think the girl know me like that, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, pretty sure she some peep me. She knows some, you know, she can't not remember some of the people she grew up with, and if she don't peep me, but I'm just saying it ain't Bow Wow. Because I wouldn't have been talking to no Bow Wow right in my face, hugging and everything, and talking. And then I saw him after the cut too. When we was leaving, my friend was like, F you, Bow Wow. And he ran into the car. He thought somebody was trying to get him. Like, he was leaving with 2 light-skinned girls, jumping in his limo that night. We dipped and went other places. And then it just so happened when we was getting the cab, dipping back to the Palms, he was getting in his limo. And my friend was mad. Not mad, but they just wanted to jump about. He was like, F you, Bow Wow. And Bow Wow heard him and was like, ugh. He ducked and dipped off into the car. and I thought it was hilarious. And then we got into our, we went wherever we went. But that's my story. And I'm not giving y'all more than that. That's the easy version of it. Take it or leave it. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. After that, the whole like I said, Bauer is they all born into it, and it's not like they're like some special, like they're not like all these weird, like, which I think it is. They're like more like people that stick together because they have a goal of this dream world that they created, where we're serving them and we're doing things, and they have their assets and they have their and I could try to explain it a different day. They always make me look unorganized on here. I don't like it. I'm just trying to see if I have any more main points that I want to put out there, because I know I probably won't do another video for like, to the weekend after that. And then I might not do no more history. I want to get back to like the twins, because I have so many videos that I had. I just put a whole hope to it because of this. And I feel like I should just get back to like keeping it light, because history can be very weird and racist, and everybody has their own opinions, and I'm not taking away from it, because the mixing of like, if you have a whole lot of Chinese, or if you have a whole lot of, if they want to make it into like a race and a specific thing and a religion, they could go ahead and do it. I'm not stopping away from doing nothing. I'm just telling you, ain't nothing here but a native and a Chinese, and ain't nothing but mixing of that. And you can see who's over on top. It's the Chinese, the Latin, because it's all the stuff is in Latin. Even when you go to medical school, it's more, everything is in Latin. When you go to medical school, I took a lot of lab classes, or I've done everything. Done it all. I do computer. I know how to do CPR. I'm over here being a doctor. I can do everything. I always try to diagnose people. I'm a Capricorn. Bo do this, Bo do that. We do everything. We try, even though they people be looking like no. And I feel y'all, but that you can't tell us nothing, And I know y'all should tell us to sit down somewhere. I got nothing for you right now, because I got so much notes and I have nothing to back me up. Yeah, so just if anything, just Google the South Pole, the North Pole, because it's a lot. Google I'm gonna try to get all the links next video I do to a lot of videos that show a lot of history of the Indian something wars, the Canadian wars, where they wiped out the Native Americans from Canada, where they wiped out the Native Americans going down. They wiped us out with German disease from Florida going up that to Virginia. That's why they were able to set shop up there so easily, because they already wiped us out before they set shop in Virginia with the germs coming from up that way. They already tore us out, and then they kept closing us in, and we were fighting them from over here to Michigan. We were over back by Michigan, hitting Canada and stuff. Then we was over by Chicago. If you look at all the corrupt states, it's all on the outskirts of the coast. So you saw where they were parking up and trying to squeeze in, starting all this crap. The Frenchmen, all of them, all the people that's in cahoots. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So where I was going with Cain and like the transsexual, and like it's getting hot, and like the sugar cane, the transsexual and things like that. Yeah, so it's all connected. And then you got the Jamaican with the Bati Boy and Bobby's World. We gotta all get all that connected. It's all connected. And I'll do some wordplay another day. Sunday is for sacrifice. Saturday is for you to go outside and get killed. Saturday is the day they want you to go party. They want the weekend to be clear. They want you to go out. Saturday is for you to be killed. They want a lot of people to die on Saturdays. And Sunday is for sacrifice, for rituals. So this is people that's actually So Saturdays is for people that don't know nothing and get outside getting killed. Sundays is for people that know what's going on and sacrificing their family members, their selves, so that's why a lot of these celebrities and people can die on Sundays, like Whitney Houston. All these people die on Sundays because it's the day of sacrifice. So they're a part of that. We're not a part of it. We don't sacrifice, but we do. People that don't know, we go out on Saturdays. So be careful, okay? And that's why a lot of celebrities never went out on the weekends. Remember, Paris Hilton used to be like, "Oh, we don't party on the weekends. We only go out like on weekdays. Saturdays are dangerous. Be careful, okay?" You might think, "Oh, we the dangerous ones," when they're setting people out to be dangerous in your groups, and you don't even know some of the people that's in your groups that are part of things, and you thinking you chilling with them, and they getting you into some stuff, and they know they getting y'all into some stuff. Okay, be careful who you chilling with. I'm gonna come back and really try to knock it out the park one of these days. I do want to go over the Anglo-Saxon situation again, because I thought Anglo-Saxons were like the original white people, which they weren't. They were just people from Germany and stuff, and they're called Angles, not angels. Angles, like Angle, and then Saxons, and then they came over through Hawaii, walked around a long way to Las Vegas, whatever, to the high mountains with where they said it was molten a bunch of silver, making it poisonous stink over there. They came over here molten silver and working the mines over there. So that's why the Anglo-Saxons were the first settlers towards America and were considered white, because they were the first ones running over here. And then I guess when they started to let everybody in the gates through New York, and let everybody through the gates in Canada, let everybody through the gates through Florida, let everybody through the gates through whatever, that's when they started to add in all these other races that all just Chinese and Asian, just different hair colors and different disguises of trying to, make it seem like there's something other than, and it has a lot to do with them having a lot of ethnic in them. Black, some people have ethnic, like Italians and Scottish, and they have ethnic, and then a lot of them just have a lot of Chinese, German, and so you see how then we had these Syrian Jews that turned, they're tearing Syria up, but the Syrian Jews that are originally from Syria are now in Israel, and Israel are the ones bombing Syria. Does this make any sense? Okay, so these people, I don't know. Y'all gotta figure it out. I'm gonna try to do some more of my fun videos so y'all can stop stressing me out. Look at all these papers. Look at me trying to get on the Google, just so I could try to help out, because I see a lot of people are just saying stuff about Trump, like Trump and like these people are not from America, and their best interest is just to kick some Frenchmen out, and that China and Russia go straight full ahead, one world order. I mean, where are we not seeing this at? They're kicking the Incas, they're kicking the pirate West Indians, they're kicking the North Frenchmen, the Haiti. You see these hits getting on them? They're kicking these people out. The alliance they had to conquer us, and now that we all washed up and lost and looking dirty, they don't need that alliance no more. They don't need the conquering of the nucleus, because they already entered into the cell. So now that they're in the cell where they want to be, it's so mixed. It's a mixing melting pot. They don't really need the force field of the West Indian pirates and where they came in, the Frenchmen, Spain. This is where they came in. They don't need them. They call this these deaths and all these like Bismarck, and look at their eyes. Pay attention. Are they dying, or are they getting sent back to the country because the contract is up and they can't? Just like a school visa. If you're not in school, you got to go back to your country. So are these celebrities dying, or are they in contract coming to perform, being the traveling zoo all over again? They're being the traveling zoo all over again. This traveling zoo that they had, that lady, those kids, with the shark teeth, the lady with the breast. That was a trap. They was making money off that, entertaining us. We're stupid. We should never been entertained by these people gathering. These people that they gathered up was a part of the scheme. They was like trying to really make it like, oh, this is a hairy man. He knew that was his job to act like he's a hairy man from when he's just regular. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It was a scheme. This entertainment, the Hollywood from Holland, from these Hollywood Highland, get them out of here. This is it's all a scheme. They're all part of a certain community. It's the same people that was bringing the traveling zoo. Now they have a better version. They created the television, they created this, and we're stuck to the idiot box. You know, they're doing what they need to do. They're doing like the movie Us, you know, if that makes any sense. Okay, I gotta go. It was fun. Whoever was still with me all this time, I love you guys. Big hearts. Shout out to y'all. Y'all are MVPs. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not. I know a lot of people are like, probably seeing where I'm going with this. My mind is all the way out the box. I open the Pandora box for real. Like I don't stay in one. You're not gonna keep me in one religion or one. No, I'm gonna universal it out. I always get involved in everybody's stuff because I need to know everything. You know what I'm saying? So don't, I like universal. I don't like just, staying stuck in one thing and being like, no, that's all I know and that's the truth. How could you know it's the truth if you don't know everything? You gotta know everything to try to figure out even where to begin of what's true and what's not. But like, share, subscribe. I prefer shares more than anything, long as the information is getting out and people, and even if you feel like my information isn't as direct and I can't really express it and show examples of what I would like to show, you could start to Google most of the things I'm saying, like the North Pole. Did you know it was an area where people actually live and not just somewhere you send letters to Santa? Or the South Pole, did you know that was directly in the middle of Antarctica? And the peninsula of Antarctica is directly connected to South America. These things are important. They're not taught in school. That's why they give you your money back. They're talking about the first human beings in Africa. Does it matter when it was hominids and all kinds of other things that are human and were having and Neanderthals can have sex with humans and have babies? That means they're human. Dog and a cat ain't having no kids. A monkey and a bird. Now, as much as a dog sniff a cat butt, he can't get in there. Okay? Stop. If the Neanderthals is having sex with the humans in a boinking zone, the humans. Stop saying African is the first humans, because there's probably no such thing as Africans in Africa. They stole it from South America. They stole us. They needed some melanin. They need the skin to go good. They need the skin to go clean. Okay? So they took India, they took Africa. See how it got over there. Research it. Look how stupid the story is too. Oh, it was floating for 400 years. Remote island. You could get to Hawaii. You could get to India floating 400 years. Stop. Hawaii's out in the middle of nowhere. And y'all got over there. Stealing. Swipey no swiper. Okay? Tell young Farrah to put some clothes on. He got the dong on. Tell him to debate me any day. I tear him apart. He's a youngin anyway. I don't want to do that to nobody. He's cool. I think these people are cool. As long as you are educating yourself and you're strong into what you believe in, if that's your heritage, go hard. Just stop killing people with weapons, because we tired of that. Like, we want to tear y'all up with these again. We want to give you some of these again. Y'all don't want it. Y'all want to go up and put dots on them, and connect it all. We just want to touch you. We want to put these hands. We want to lay our hands on your artistic ass. We want to lay our hands on your, you be like, oh, the artistic people get touched by God. I used to work in one-on-one. I used to do one-on-one care and stuff like that. I love those people. They were great, smart as hell. Yeah, some of those scary movies that they do in Asia and all that, it comes from that. If you ever did one-on-one care, I used to work overnight because I didn't want to do that. And I had a lot of jobs. I worked because I did like 3 jobs. I've been working ever since I was 14. I got my green Asian card, to work so I can help out. Or so I won't have to worry about feeding me. You know what I'm saying? It's the kind of situation they put us in. 14 years old, I got my green card. I'm working at 8 o'clock in the morning. I didn't need school. School was harassing me. I had issues in school throughout every And I'll get into that another day because it was never about my education. I was so smart. They couldn't leave me back for 99. I was always in an advanced class. I went to the Thurgood Marshall School in Queens. I'm not even from Queens. Advanced. Okay. At some point, I didn't stay there because I wanted to go to my public school. I didn't want to stay in those advanced schools. It was boring. The kids in Queens are nerds, man. You got to have a specific zip code to even go to that school. They won't let certain people in those schools. Schools are way better than Brooklyn schools. So I don't know what kind of struggles the people from Queens really have. Only people that's from probably the projects. But most of those places are nice houses, nice areas. A lot of Indian people live out there, a lot of mixed race. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, yeah. Like, share, subscribe. I gotta get out of here. It's getting late. I feel like I do too much talking about personal stuff, and especially when I start talking about celebrities, and they're not come at all of them. Shouldn't have been in my face. All right. So like, share, subscribe. They probably look like, oh, that bitch better not talk about me. If I feel like it, should be in my face. Especially if I know you. I said what I want about you. Don't worry about it. Nobody interested in someone else celebrities anyway. Because I don't believe in celebrities. You know, that's usually what I tell some of them. Like I told them, face you believe like you don't even talk to me like that. Like, and they know, like, and they look at me like, maybe you're mad. Because it don't work on everybody. Like I already know what y'all are. Y'all come here with your costumes on. No, y'all come here, y'all had underwears on over there. You know what I'm saying? So when they come over here with their costume, they put all this name brand on, they put all this, they overbuy these cars. Because when if you try to overbuy those cars and stuff over there, it'll fall in the ground when Mother Nature expels it. It'll wash all out. So when y'all showing us all this nice stuff over here, you can only floss that over here. Can't floss that over there like that. That stuff everywhere can't handle all that stuff, all that extra stuff that don't need to be here. That's all y'all can provide. That's all y'all can offer. It's the wants, not the needs. So you know. Anyway, I don't want to come at the celebrities like that, but you know that they are con artists, scams all around the board. I know they scams because it's a lot of issues where I noticed. So my whole page is about scams. History is a scam. The world is a scam. So anything scam is going to come across my page. I've been scammed so much. I'm tired of these scam people. Some of these people, they like to make it. You got to go through. I'm not going through none of y'all. I'm not kissing no rings, none of that. I can do it, make it myself. And then when you try to do it that way, you kind of see that, damn, you kind of need those stupid people. And not, a lot of these different people. And I'm just like, and I would never go up under none of these, some of these fat, like it'd be like a lot of different kind of people that was offering. And I wanted to show you that video of when they was trying to break down my big TV when that guy was telling you how they try to recruit. I want to show you that video. I'm gonna try to find that video because it was perfectly said. And yeah, so I could talk about them. They come over here, they put on their costumes, they do their zoo. They entertainment zoo thing. Now they're doing it on TV. They can do it on TV now, and they can do it on a stage in person. They upgraded since they made all that money off that zoo. They done upgraded to now a whole Tinseltown. Okay, so all that is tinsel. Going to continue this another day, but I do want to get back to my twins videos because I got a bunch of twinsies. Whole bunch of twinsies, just like Walt Disney and Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler has the computer of the mouse, the receptor, the original computer, receiver, and to see what does all of this. The original version of what they should, which is stolen, but we're gonna pretend that this was the first time that they discovered this. And what Adolf Hitler had it. And then it turns into Walt. He turns into Uncle Walt when he comes. He's a warmonger, crazy germy that over there. And when he comes here, it's another world. It's the opposite. It's the reflection. Now he steps out into this world, and he is Uncle Walt. He is Uncle Walt with the mouse, with the thing that's going to control us all. It's going to get us all. It's going to captivate us all. And of course, they all doing this because it's Nazis. No Syrian Jews. No, none of that. Okay. And it kind of contradicts itself because those Sumerian Jews are very much involved. And they always fighting each other. I don't know. Exactly what Sumerian Jews would be mixed with. Is it African war based? Because they are Muslim and looking. Muslimly. Anyway. So yeah, so Walt Disney, Adolf Hitler, his name Adolf Florida, and Hitler, for the Moors, the hitman for the Moors that they sent to Florida, the Berbers of Seville sent to Florida, the Germans cleaned us out. I'm gonna show you where most of those Seminoles and all those Seminoles, the Seminole Florida, I don't know who they are, but they showed them buying Las Vegas. They bought the Rock. The Rock. I stayed in that hotel. I've been to Vegas a couple of times. I stayed in the Rock something hotel. That's the Siberian Jews. The Seminole, the Florida Seminoles, that money they made off of whatever that come up they made. They bought the Rock Hotel in Las Vegas. So it's like, who are the Seminole? Weren't they supposed to be Indians? This is a scam. Like, if anybody get any reparations going forward, I'm going to be flipping. Like, this stuff is stupid. They're not giving us $1. They're always going to end up giving some Seminole, Florida person the money. And these people look like Jewish people. They were buying the Rock whole. I got information of this. It's facts. So they are money laundering. These GoFundMes are money laundering. No one out, no bread. None. It's not much money to be made. Most of these donations and stuff is these people that want them to keep going. That's a part of their code. They want them to like, oh, you're doing arguing. These people pay them because they know that support is coming from group, their base, not from real people. Real people just watch. They just want to, and the base people paying them because they know real people are watching it. They want them to watch it. They want them to be influenced by this arguing they're doing, or this stuff. Like, people are making up stuff as they go, and you guys are giving 50,000 views, about $2,000 to who knows how much per episode. Every time they come on here arguing, and you guys are supporting that, they're making money off of it, and they're hoping that it gets into you so you can argue and fight as well. If young crowds watching it, so sometimes I feel like a lot of the YouTubers are watching. I think a lot more people are watching my stuff. I get like probably 500 to 1,000 views, but I see so much content based off of stuff that I do that I'm like, bro, I should have way more views than what I have. Like, it'd be like 10 to 15 YouTubers that been in the game for a minute that start stemming off of stuff that I'm doing that they did not stem off of. Like, and I'm not saying that they're copying it off me, but who, like, the history stuff as far as like some guys like decoding the whole Disney Looney Tunes. I'm like, when did you start doing that? But anyway, the thing is that the point is that I just feel like the views aren't there for a reason. They're definitely making it seem like a lot of people are not watching some of the stuff, but they are. But they don't want this message, this information out. They want you to stick to certain scripts. And I'm not sticking to none of those scripts. It's somewhat like the Jesus and Judas situation, because I believe Jesus and Judas were both Capricorns. Jesus is being in December, Judas being in January, because the pain January Janus is more bad reputation. And Jesus ain't that he's innocent either. He was flipping over tables and busting heads too. You know what I'm saying? And then he got crucified because he was being a revolutionist. He didn't want to bow down to Caesar. And then you got to think, who was Caesar? Because if you think, they show you some white guy, but then when they show you the movie of the Planets of the Apes, Caesar is the head monkey. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we'll get into that another day. Okay? Because I told you the KKK is all related with the Supremas, and we got the King Conscious, and we got all that. So that Caesar probably, to give you an image, but it's probably representing those people, that group, those groups. Okay, it's 1:30. I gotta work tomorrow. Hope they don't play with my job. They played with it all last week with the electronics. I gotta get up early. Like, share, subscribe, guys, and I'm glad that you are here. Trust me, it's all love, because I enjoy the world, the universe. So it's never me saying, oh, these Chinese people and these, because, like, please, we're all kind of mixed and somewhat, like, literally, like, if I probably have one piece of Chinese in me, You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it don't matter, because it don't matter. It's just more and more, and the mixtures, and that's why people are starting to see the differences. And then the differences don't matter. They want it to matter because they want people want to have slaves and control. So they're giving you a whole world that they created. That's not necessarily. We could be living in God, but we live in a job. And we just got to figure out how to, separate it again. And I hope it doesn't have to be to the point of exile and this and that, because that don't work. You see that jump up on us again. So, we're not going to keep doing the hamster wheel. We got to be some type of stopping it. And I know you can stop it by getting rid of all this stuff, but I know that ain't going to happen. So anyway, you got to figure it out. And I have to figure it out, but you should be aware. You should be conscious of your pawn, what you're living in is such a small world, and it's getting even smaller. Like, share more than anything. Like, share, subscribe. I'm getting out of here, guys. I hope to see you guys next week, if I can make it. I didn't really give anything good this week, so they shouldn't bother me. I didn't give anything like, oh, this is gonna happen. I didn't make any predictions. But as you can see in South Africa, I wanted to make some predictions, but I didn't get a chance. But we'll see what happens next week on, and I what else I could come up with, improve more than talk. So have a good night, guys. Bye.